Hey everyone. So I went out after a long time. I went to get some groceries and I'm still continuing to buy lots of fresh fruit and vegetables and also focusing on, I'm listening to the doctors on YouTube and how hypertension works, what is important. So mainly they're saying like it's important to focus on your kidneys and also to try to fast for at least 12 hours a day. Because especially in North America and England and places like that, not so much how we grew up in Zimbabwe, but people eat like 5 meals a day. So they have their breakfast, then they have a snack, then they have lunch, then they have a snack, then they have dinner, then they have a snack. So the doctors are saying that doesn't really give your body time to take a break from processing foods. And even if you cut out eating foods with salt, your kidneys hold on to that salt, and then your kidneys get affected, and then that lands up how your heart pumps your blood, and that's how you'll end up getting hypertension. That's part of it. And then of course stress comes into it and factors like that. But this doctor that I was listening to, he was focusing mainly on how people eat. So I guess everybody has different ways that they have to eat. People have dietitians that they work with and they customize it. For me, I don't eat that way, so I still have hypertension, so I'm still trying to see what I can do for myself. The medication does help, but obviously I'm looking to bring it down, and that's why I exercise, and losing weight also helps. But that's what I've been listening to, and I went out after a long time to get some groceries for myself, and I probably won't go out for a long time now, but I try to wait until things go on the sale. I try to wait until I really need to go out and get things. I don't hoard and I don't stockpile things, and things are so expensive now, you can't do that anyway. But I'll end up making 2 or 3 trips because the grocery store's up the road, which is helpful for me since I don't have a car. And yeah, that's what I do. For the gospel for today, the gospel story is about how Jesus sends the disciples out, and he sends them out in pairs to deal with unclean spirits and tells them not to take anything for the road and to stay with people. People will welcome them, people will be hospitable to them, and people won't turn them away. And if they do, then they are to just shake the dust off their feet and to move forward, basically taking the gospel to the next place. And all of us as Christians are commissioned to do that. Some of us have a special calling on our lives as spiritual directors, as priests, as religious, but all of us who are baptized are called to do that and to be hospitable. He talks about taking the staff with them. The staff is for teaching. The staff is a symbol of teaching. And the staff is to help them on the journey. They used to walk, they used to travel, not by cars like we have today, but they used to walk and travel by boat. So the staff is to help them on their journey. And you'll find that when Jesus sent the disciples out, mainly it was the men. The women, they did their ministries in their homes. They did their ministries in their vicinities. You don't find a lot of the scriptures saying the women went out. There were women that accompanied Jesus and accompanied the disciples, but again, it's that sense of relying on God for the provision and to trust that God is with us on that journey. And that's what I have to do, because in my ministry work as a laywoman, I don't belong to a religious order. I don't belong to a community. I go out and I work. I earn my living, whether it's in administration or project management, as an executive assistant, receptionist, project coordination. I go out and I work, and then I help in the church. and different churches around Toronto. I help with being a Marian helper. I help with EWTN. All those things are important for me. Even participating in the Mass or joining in the Divine Mercy online or the Rosary. Those are all important forms of ministry for all of us to participate in, because prayer does help, and our lives are focused on living in the Lord. Everything else is secondary. The faith comes first, and focusing on the faith comes first for us as Christians, and everything else comes from that. Even today, you'll find that a lot of people, a lot of young people especially, they're not focused on things like owning the biggest diamond in the world or having diamond mines. They focused on very different things in life. And diamonds have lost their value. Like before, people used to have it was the big thing, like when you get married or when you've made it, to have diamonds, to have pearls, to have, the poshest car. But all those things have lost value, and that's changing the business world, because young people and people of my generation, we don't care about those things that much. It's nice if you get it, and it's nice if you have a sports car and all those things, but the value of those things is not what it used to be to us. And that's why you'll find that even the trafficking and all that is going down, because people are saying, you know what, if this is what it means to get to that status in life and to get to that place in life, it means hurting people, it means trafficking young women and girls and men, and then your brand means nothing to us. That's why even finding like the biggest diamond now in Kimberley or Botswana or wherever, it doesn't have that pull like it used to. It doesn't. Even De Beers and all those companies, it doesn't have that pull anymore like it used to, because people are like, you know what, we can't put food on the table. We can't clothe and feed our families. People who are in ministry are not getting support like me. We're getting threats of eviction from our homes. The people that are doing good are not coming up in life, so there's something wrong with our world. And a lot of the young people are like that. It's not just me. A lot of them are saying it, the value of those things, diamonds and all that, it's going down. And the value of currencies is going down. People are returning to a gold-backed dollar and a gold-backed exchange for monetary, because people are like having to barter. They're having to barter, like, like, do you have tea? Do you have coffee? Do you have something to eat? They're bartering. And even with families are doing that now. So it's a very different world, and it might not be what businesses like. It might not be what businesses want to hear. But for those of us who have nothing, it's good. Because we're saying, you know what, all your diamonds and trafficking people, making people work in unsafe conditions, and only focusing on your profits doesn't work for us. That's not what we want. And through that, things will change. Things will change and things will come right. But the companies are the ones they are in pain. That's why they keep letting people go, because they don't want to pay people decent wages. They don't want to have stability. They want to hire and fire just in time. They're not building careers for people. They're telling us that you are the CEO of your own company, and what you put in is what you're going to get out. But it's not working, because people like me are putting in a lot and we're not getting the rewards for it. We're not getting the breaks. We're not getting the good paid jobs. We're not getting what we should be getting. So the young people, especially people of my generation and younger, are turning away from it. It doesn't mean anything to us. that you've got an island that you take girls to, because when you take girls to those islands, like Jeffrey Epstein, you're raping them and you're abusing them and you want threesomes and you want massages and all this rubbish. And my generation's not interested in that. My generation grew up with sets of parents who, yeah, they had nice cars and they had beautiful homes and the best of everything, but they had a community that came around them that helped them to get that, and they worked hard for it. They didn't bring people to our homes to become prostitutes and pimps and raise us to be madams and all that. So I think the pain we're going through, eventually we will get out of it on the other side. But it's sad that that's what companies and banks and the best institutions in the world, including our police, have to go through. That's what's sad. Because what are they hoping to achieve from it? And even like when the Toronto Police Association call to ask for donations, they tell me that it's our children. It's our children who are in the gangs and all that. That's why we're trying to raise money to put some supports in place. And that's sad. That's very sad. But anyway, the Lord still calls us, He still commissions us, He still sends us out. And today we have the internet, we have social media tools, we have different ways that we can help others and we can help ourselves. But many of us who are in ministry, we're still dependent on people helping us, on people sending us money now and again. And we also need to go out and work. And it's not something new. Many of the priests that I went to university with in Johannesburg, they were priests, but they also had careers. They worked as doctors in some of the hospitals. They worked in other things. So it's not unusual what I'm doing. There are nuns here in Toronto, sisters, who they work in finance, they work in banking, and they have that income coming in that way. Because the old model where people used to help you, where people used to provide for you, is not working anymore. So we do have to go out and we have to work and we have to build careers. And even the retreat centers are closing. Many of the retreat centers are closing. Some of them are doing very well and they're always full. But it's very hard to get work, paid work, to give retreats and all that. So I'm still applying for opportunities in the corporate world, in non-profits, and I have used my skills. I've used them in board work as the chair for HR and governance for boards here in Toronto. I use them in non-profits. I use them with fundraising. I use them to help to get aid for our communities here in Toronto as well as overseas. And we use our skills in different ways to build up God's kingdom. And my singing also. I know my friends like my singing and my family, but Facebook keeps blocking it and they keep putting copyright, and so I have to leave it up for a while and then delete it if I can. Sometimes I can't even delete it. So yeah, we do whatever we can, and we know that all of us who are baptized as Christians, that is what the Lord is calling us to be His disciples in this world. And we get treated with the worst cruelty. You can't even get your days off to go to church at the weekends. You can't even get Good Friday off or Easter off or Christmas off sometimes. So things have to change. And even now with AI coming up, in China they have now robots for directing the traffic and all that, because they put in communist policies that they only wanted 1 or 2 children per household. So now they don't have the population coming up to support them. And so that's what happens when you sin against God. and you don't want children, you don't want all these things. That's what happens. But when you try to tell them, like I do, then you get accused of being delusional. So that's the Christian journey, unfortunately. But yeah, things have changed, and all those diamonds and all that, those of us who do have them as, maybe presents or something, yeah, we value them, but it's not the be-all and end-all. And finding the biggest diamond in the world and all that, people don't care about that now. People care about people. People care about families having homes and food and shelter and earning enough to buy those things. Because there's no shortage of housing in Toronto. There's nothing. But people don't have jobs. And the jobs we do have, they don't even pay us enough to buy 1 month of rent for the year, or to buy food for the year. This last year, I only had 1 day's work at the elections. So is that going to pay my rent, and is it going to buy me food, and is it going to buy electricity? We don't want handouts. I don't want handouts from the government. I take them because I have no choice. But I want to work, just like everybody. I want to work, and my work is sacred. I do my work unto the Lord. I do my work unto the Lord, and when I go to work, I don't wear makeup and perfume and all that. I'm always makeup free. When I'm at home, sometimes, I put on a little bit of makeup, or if I'm going somewhere nice. But most of the time, I'm makeup free. And I live simply. So that's the call of God. It's the call of Christ to discipleship. And our parents baptize us when we're small. But when we are adults, we make that decision. We decide whether we want to continue to build up God's kingdom and follow Christ or not. No one makes that choice for us. And no one made that choice for me. I made it for myself.